Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Welcome to the start of a new week. This really is my favorite place to start my week and my favorite place to start my day. Right, let's get into it. Somebody, good morning. Danae, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to a new week. Anami, good morning. Hello. It is awesome seeing all of you right here. Our teacher for this week is Michael Beckwith, a minister, an author, and founder of the Agape International Spiritual Center, a transdenominational community that runs local outreach programs that help feed people experiencing homelessness, serve incarcerated individuals, partner with community service organizations active in children's schools and youth homes, support the arts, and advocate for the preservation of our planet's environmental resources. Michelle, good morning. Hello, happy Monday. We are stepping into a brand new week. Take a moment to look into the week ahead and form a picture of what it is that you want to create this week. Michael Beckwith helps us start this week with a reminder of who you are, what you are. Linda, hello, happy Monday morning. Michael Beckwith's words are, I believe that you are great, that there is something magnificent about you. Regardless of what has happened to you in your life, regardless of how young or how old you think you might be, the moment you begin to think properly, this something that is within you, this power within you that's greater than the world, it will begin to emerge. It will take over your life. It will feed you. It will clothe you. It will guide you, protect you, direct you, sustain your very existence, if you let it. Now that is what I know for sure, says Michael Beckwith. I believe that you are great, that there is something magnificent about you. Charlene, good morning. Pepe, good evening. Awesome seeing you all at the start of my week. Hello. Last thought from Michael Beckwith says, you can start with nothing, and out of nothing and out of no way, a way will be made. Annalie, good morning, happy Monday. And Dylan, good morning, happy Monday. You are the co-creator of your life. You were created to create. Creating is your birthright. Your thoughts, your intentions, your words, and your actions, they are your tools. And you can further develop these tools in order to become an even more powerful creator. The tool to put most of your focus on is how you talk, and especially how you talk to yourself, because how you speak to yourself is your operating system. Every action you take, every interaction flows from how you talk to yourself. So let your words speak of creativity, of possibility, of opportunity. Make it your mission this week to catch yourself when you realize that you are speaking to yourself in an old, disempowering way. This is our meditation as we step into our week. We're taking Michael Beckwith's words very seriously. I believe that you are great, that there is something magnificent about you. And we are paying attention to how we speak this week. Speak only what you wish to become true. Your words are powerful. Decide to stop saying anything that you wouldn't want to come true. So if you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's slip away on today's journey together. Starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to dive deep into you and have this inner experience. As you breathe in, feel yourself fill up the balloon in your belly. And as your belly expands, feel yourself expand in all directions. And once you have a belly full of air, slowly, slowly let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, rising with every inhale and slowly falling with every exhale, I want to remind you just what it is that you are doing right now. You're taking your body by the hand. You are sitting this body down, and you are letting this body know, this is how I want us to do this. I want you to just imagine in your mind that you're physically doing that. It is what's happening, but imagine being a little bit more deliberate. Taking your body by the hand, sitting it down, and letting your body know, this is how I want us to do this. And then pay attention to how you have just spoken to this body. In this moment, you are clearly being the guide to this body. You are being the teacher to this body. You're telling this body, I want us to stop for deep breaths. Inhale into your belly. Feel this body rise. Exhale slowly and feel this body fall. Yes, body. Exactly like that. This is how I want us to do this. In this moment, your body is being led by your soul. This is your work. The soul leading the body. Because when we don't, the past wakes up in our body from time to time. And when our past wakes up in our body, it often completely takes control of this body. And in that moment, it could be in the body as if the past is being experienced again. It's very easy to live in a body that is permanently controlled by the past. The reminder is what you're doing right now is sitting your body down and having it being led by your soul. So now pay attention to how you speak to this body. That will be our meditation today. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. And roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left. And forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left and also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as present as we find ourselves being right now. We can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. As you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see yourself standing at the start of a new week. Your toes are sticking over the edge and you are ready to dive in. Take your next big breath. With a new week starting, we are taking the opportunity to be intentional about how we step into this week. Not just on autopilot, not just letting unexpected things blindside us, but being deliberate about how we want to take our steps into this week. Deliberate and intentional about how we want to respond, how we want to create. So as you take a look into the week ahead, let's first bring our attention to what is known about the week ahead. What is already in the calendar? As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, walk your way through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Remind yourself of the things that you know you need to do this week. Remind yourself of some of the places that you need to go this week. Remind yourself of some of the people that you need to see this week. Take your next big breath. What are you creating this week? I love asking this question at the start of every week. What are you creating this week? Your very existence is the act of creating. And whether we are intentional about this or not, we are always creating. So your choices are either being on autopilot and creating reactively, creating by being reactive to the world around you, or becoming deliberate, becoming intentional, and creating from your soul. How we show up is how we create. How we interact, how we respond to the humans around us, how we deal with the emotions and thoughts inside of us is how we create. How are you creating this week? And if you're uncertain of that, then ask yourself the question. And if you ask yourself this question every week, clarity will come. How am I creating this week? Take your next big breath. Take a moment to transport yourself a week ahead to the next weekend. Stand in the next weekend and look back at the week past. If you had a checklist for the end of this week, what are the things you'd like to look back on and check off your list? What are some things for which you'd like to say, I got this done, I got that done? What are some things for which you'd like to say, I got started on this one and I made progress on that one? What does your checklist look like for the end of the week? Take your next big breath. Michael Beckwith's words for us this week say, I believe that you are great, that there is something magnificent about you. Is that something that you can say to yourself? Is that the kind of thing you often stop and say to yourself? Try it in this moment. Take a look at yourself. Perhaps pretend you could step outside of yourself and turn around and see this human sitting there. Can you say these words from Michael Beckwith to yourself? I believe that you are great, that there is something magnificent about you. Try it. Take your next big breath. tools that you have with which you create your life are your thoughts, your intentions, your words, your actions. And the foundation of all of these tools is the conversation you have with yourself, the way you speak to yourself. We could call that your operating system. How you speak to yourself is your operating system. It controls your actions. It controls your thoughts. Just like a computer's operating system was created by a coding language, the language you use with yourself creates your operating system. Try this again. Speak these words to yourself again. I believe that you're great, that there is something magnificent about you. Take your next big breath. Our work is to become more deliberate, more intentional about how we speak to ourselves. But what about the unintentional thoughts? What about that inner critic that rears its head out of nowhere and launches a scathing inner attack? What about the voice of the victim that suddenly dives down that rabbit hole again of how unfair it really is that I have to experience what I'm experiencing? Or perhaps the voice of sadness that looks at the world and just feels like it can't deal with everything that's happening. Or anger, or any one of the other examples. The question is this. Right now, at the beginning of a week, we can be intentional about how we speak to ourselves. But what about all of the old ways of thinking that we can't just wish away? They appear. And before we know it, we've embodied that voice of the critic, and we've been punishing ourselves without realizing. In those moments, our job is this. First, to become aware, to realize that subconscious thinking, old thoughts, old programs have been running the show for a while. And then to become deliberate. When you realize the critic has been speaking, how do you now choose to speak to the critic? If it's been the voice of anger that's been running your day, when you realize this, how do you now choose to intentionally speak to that voice of anger? Or whether it's sadness, or that victim voice, when you understand what has been happening, how do you stop? And how do you now choose to speak to those voices? Take your next big breath. We'll take one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll share with you Michael Beckwith's message for us one more time. He says, I believe that you are great, that there is something magnificent about you. Regardless of what has happened to you in your life, regardless of how young or old you think you might be, the moment you begin to think properly, this something that is within you, this power within you that's greater than the world, it will begin to emerge. It will take over your life. It will feed you, it will clothe you, it will guide you, protect you, direct you, sustain your very existence, if you let it. Now that is what I know for sure. You can start with nothing, and out of nothing, and out of no way, a way will be made. He says the moment you begin to think properly, this something in you will begin to emerge. It is like creating the first little ember that glows. And sometimes we feel that. Sometimes we feel that first little ember that starts to glow. So now how do you feed that ember? How do you continue breathing life into that ember so that it can grow into a flame? And this comes from how you choose to speak to yourself. Every empowering word is like gently blowing on this ember so it can come to life. We cannot control every thought that our brain comes up with. We know that. And sometimes it can feel like our brain comes up with very unhelpful thoughts. But your job is to remember that. A brain just does what it's designed to do. It produces a constant stream of thinking and feeling. Your job is to choose how you respond to this brain. How you respond to this brain differently than you have before. So when the old thoughts of the critic and anger and the victim and sadness, when those old thoughts arise, can you remember that your soul can choose how to speak to those old voices? And how you choose to speak to you now, that is creating the new program. That is creating the operating system that will control your life. Or in a different picture, that is you gently blowing on this glowing ember, giving it life. May you remember to speak empowerment into every day this week. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the privilege of standing at the start of a new week. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for giving us a moment to become intentional about how we step into the week ahead. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that how I choose to speak to myself, how I choose to respond to the old thoughts, that this creates the program. This is what creates the new patterns. And I want new empowering patterns to steer my life. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for being reminded that I can choose to respond to myself in a new way. I can choose to respond to all the old thoughts in a new way. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for jumping into the week along with us. Meryl, a very good morning. Thanks for popping in with us. Vivian, good morning. Happy Monday. Awesome seeing you. Michelle, a very good Monday morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Maggie, good morning. Happy Monday. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Sunmary. Thank you, Anami. Thank you, Danae. Try to remember who else is here. Thank you, Marsha. It's lovely being back. I missed this space the last couple of days. I hope you have a great week. See you again soon. Ciao, ciao.